What up, Dokkanners? Dokkan is currently just going crazy in terms of the community response with this shocking revelation that you are going to be able to get any one of the 10th anniversary LRs for free is absolutely mind-boggling. Not just these characters, but all of these other characters are up for grabs as well. As of me recording this video, we still don't know exactly how this is going to work. What are the terms and conditions, the circumstances, and all that, but we're going to be finding out in a day or two. So this video is to get the conversation started as far as which characters you should be considering, which characters you should not be considering, according to me and my opinion. Whenever it comes to these videos, it's always my opinion, but I strongly feel like you guys should listen to some of the things that I say, especially this one. So this is just another reminder that it is a very good idea to never spend your special coins and stones until the end of a celebration, because circumstances could change. Main reasons could be maybe you decide to summon during the course of a celebration, maybe you get extra tickets that get you lucky and pull something, or maybe, just maybe, Dokkan will pull random nonsense like this where you get a character for free. Now, let's just say you're one of those people who only had Vegito but you didn't have Gogeta, and you wanted to pick up the STR Super Gogeta Super EZA as a consolation for this guy. Now that you know that this guy is going to be obtainable through the Purunga Wish, maybe one of those red stones can be used for something else. Maybe Janemba, maybe Buhan, maybe somebody else. Your options are now wider because you waited. So tell a friend, use this video as proof that the unexpected can still happen in Dokkan. There is a good reason why I say this. Some people apparently get offended when I give my opinion that you guys should be waiting. So their loss, I guess. But hopefully you are now on board the do not spend train. But anyway, let's discuss this right here. So as of right now, we don't know how we're going to be able to choose from these characters. How is it going to work? I'm assuming it's going to have something to do with a special memorial stone. I did a video on this 3 weeks ago when it was in the data files. They since removed it. So what exactly is this going to do? Like, are they going to give us one memorial stone that you can exchange for any one of these? Or are they going to give you some options? I'm guessing that they will probably give you options where, like, they give you, like, if you wish the Purunga Wish and he grants you your wish, you're going to get 3 memorial stones. And with those 3 memorial stones, you can either spend all 3 on these, or you can spend maybe 2 on certain characters, 1 on other characters. I think that's how they're going to do it, because that way you can get a couple more. And maybe that would entice you guys to pick up one of these instead of the 10th anniversary. Although, to be fair, if you don't have Gogeta or Vegito, pick up those. I mean, that should go without saying. I'm actually going to change my tune a little bit. I think Gogeta is a better unit considering his support. However, the leader skill for Vegito is much better. And considering they're basically even, Vegito gets the edge. So I changed my mind. Vegito is the better unit because the leader skill is just better. Successors, Pure Saiyans, and was it Fused Fighters? Successors is just a weaker category. Earth Protecting Heroes is a stronger one. So your number 1 choice should be Vegito. If you have it already and you don't have Gogeta, go for Gogeta. I can't account for every single person's unique situation. So if what I'm telling you here in a broad general sense doesn't apply to you, hopefully you're able to still make it, a useful decision based on what I say. But yeah, go for this. If not that, then this. If you have both and you want to go for one of these, I would say Vegeta's not necessary. Frieza's not necessary. Dare I say even Gohan is not necessary, but I do think that it is worth picking up the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Goku leads Giant Ape Power, a category that is about to be on the rise, not just because of the 7th anniversary EZAs, but with some recent events in a series that shall remain Daima. Giant Ape Power is important. So that category is going to be getting a significant buff, and considering how good this guy is on his own, he is able to carry a category full of bums. He's going to be good on a team full of non-bums. If you don't believe me, check out his showcase. You'll see what I mean. So I would say 1, 2, 3. After that, this guy would be 4. I don't think these guys would be obviously at the lowest of the priority list. If you're big fans of Tournament of Power like I am, then yeah, go for them. But I would say that 1, 2, 3, 4 would be the way to go about looking at these. But what I mainly want to talk about are these guys, because maybe you're not looking at the 10th anniversary units, maybe you're looking at these. So this is maybe not going to be the entire list of characters you can choose from, But since this is a starting point, this is where we're going to begin the discussion. I will do another video when we actually get these memorial stones in, 2 days? Tomorrow night? Whatever. And we will discuss at length what to do there. But here it is. So I took a screenshot of this shot right here. We've got all of these different Dokkan festivals, carnivals, and legendary summons. And what I did is I put the dates and notable dates for these characters. So what you're looking at here in red are the units that are either out right now or are going to be out in 1 month. So in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be worth picking up these guys. Tech UI is a very big exception because of how good he is and because of how useful he can be on current content. You could argue, it's a pretty easy case to say, yeah, forget that, I want to get UI. But I am strictly talking in terms of like how soon they're going to be coming back, because UI Goku and Tech Vegeta both will be back on Saiyan Day. We don't know who the Saiyan Day unit is going to be. My guess personally is that it's going to be Daima Vegeta. If you haven't seen the series, I won't spoil it, even though I totally can. And the 10th anniversary units are obviously out right now. So I would not waste the picks on these guys. You could get them with coins. You could get them with more summons. Part 3 is going to be giving us 30 more rainbow tickets. 30 more rainbow tickets means 3 more GSSRs, but more importantly, 3 multis. So who knows? You might be able to pull one of these guys along the way. So I wouldn't be considering these. Obviously, once you finish your summons and like once you've spent your coins, if you're still missing one of these, common sense, you could go for those, sure. But again, I'm keeping this very broad. Everything in purple is the date that they first came out on the JP side. Now that we are in full synchro, Global is following JP's timeline in terms of banners. So we're still not quite there in terms of a couple of units. There are 2 outliers with Topo and Roshi, but everybody else follows JP. So Cell Max came out June 2024. What I did here is I basically matched these units with their JP equivalents from the previous year. So Cell Max's 2023 equivalent is LR Spirit Bomb Goku. He came out June 2023. He then ironically came back out on Cell Max's banner in the following year. A couple of these units do come back in extra banners, but what I am talking about here are the actual return dates for them on the mainline banners. Carnival banners, Legendary Summon banners, Dokkan Festival banners. So Cell Max, considering that his previous year equivalent came back 1 year later, and considering Cell Max has yet to return on an official banner, he's only been out on extra banners, I think he'll probably be back in June. He could be a good pickup for a lot of people because this guy is a very solid movie boss unit with a target focus effect, 1000% defense buffing active skill, which is insanity. He's very, very good. Jiren, this is crazy. So I want to talk about this because Jiren's equivalent is the LR Omega Shenron, who released as the Tanabata Part 2 last year in July of 2023. His return was on December of 2024 on the Super Saiyan's banner. He did show up in a few intermediate banners along the way, but as far as official banners, his return date where he was not the headliner was the following year. So that is only why I have this written out as December 2025 for Jiren. He could be back sooner. He's a Tanabata unit, so theoretically having him come back on the next Tanabata banner would make sense. But again, I am just keeping this in line with how the format was for the previous year. Things could change. Dokkan has proven, they're very unpredictable. So also, I will say that this guy is worth picking up from the sense that his standby is, to this day, one of the best tanks and will still remain as one of the best tanks of all time. So while he may be on a category that you may not care about, in terms of his standby, he is one of the greatest defensive units you'll ever see. While we're here, let's talk about Roshi and Popo. Both of these units released on JP and Global. Both of these units have returned on JP, but not Global. So I would, if these units had both returned on Global as well, they wouldn't have dates on them because I wouldn't consider them to be new. This guy is an old unit, so I don't have a return date because it's just like part of the general mainstream now. Frieza. This entire top row is basically all returning units, right? With the exception of these two. So I would not have put dates on these, but because Global is a bit of an exception here, we don't know when the return date is going to be. I asked my boy Proton. The thing about characters coming back is that's easy to spot, but then having them come back the following time is very confusing. So it was, yeah, I can't quite say with 100% certainty when these guys could come back based on last year. But I mean, even still, you weren't probably going to be picking these guys up. Everybody else in the second row, 10th anniversary. Down here in the Namek Saga section, you've got Vegeta, who came out in October of 2024. His equivalent, I believe, was, I'm blanking right now. Who was his equivalent last year? It was Int, Android 17 and 18. They came out October 2024 on JP, and then they came back March of 2025. Likewise, their part 2, which is also the same theme for this year. It was Namek Saga, it was the Gohan. The Ribrianne trio from last year came out October 2024 at the end of the month, and then came back in April of the following year. So those are the return dates here. I don't particularly think these units are all that important, especially in terms of like contributing categories that are relevant right now and whatnot. So I personally don't feel like these guys are that important, but hey, if you have everybody else but them, by all means. Next, we have the rest of these. I would say are definitely worth picking up because these characters came out recently and are also very relevant with some of the newer characters that have come out. Vegeta is also kind of relevant, but not to the same degree as these guys. So first we're looking at the Lord Slug. Lord Slug came out October of 2024 at the end of the month, and his equivalent is the STR Goku or Gohan Piccolo from Saiyan Saga from the previous year. They came back in March of 2025. I believe that also coincidentally happened to be the same banner that the first form Frieza came out, I think. So Lord Slug should return March of 2025. If you can stomach waiting that long, then I would. But if you can't, well, there's your option. I would say out of all of these are probably the 3 biggest must-haves. Like out of everybody here. These 3 would be the biggest, factoring everything. So Buhan, you guys see me in my videos, I'm always rocking the Buhan friend unit. I want to use this guy as my main lead, but because he hasn't come back yet, for the sake of practicality, I nerf myself by not using the Buhan. This guy is incredibly good, and with all of the Majin Buu Saga upgrades, uncontrollable power, transformation boost, Buhan works very well with a lot of the extreme class units right now. He is definitely worth having. And this is not even the super easy one. This is the Dokkan Festival one. So imagine the Dokkan Festival and this guy together. That is stupid. This guy came out November 2024. He should be back in May. So I believe this would be after Golden Week. So towards the end of May. And then Gotenks, probably the biggest one of all. The most appealing one of all. This guy is the 200% Majin Buu Saga lead. Great unit to run alongside the Vegito. The 10th anniversary Vegito. So this unit came out December 2024. It was the part 2 to the Buhan, and this unit should come back in July 2025. Again, all based on the previous year. It's subject to change. Next, we have Gradio. This guy came out in the New Year's celebration, this end of December, basically the beginning of January. I originally had the dates rounded up. So like if a certain date was at the end of the previous month, I moved it to the next month, but people wanted the exact date. So December 2024 is when Glorio and Goku both came out. They should both be back for Golden Week. Golden Week is when the dual Dokkan Festival pairings sort of make their return. So this guy would be back in about 3 months. This unit is very good. A slot 3 multi-turn support with oodles of attack power. This is one of the best TURs in the game. An absolute goldmine character. So picking up one of these 3, I think is an absolute W if you ask me. But I did put a green check mark on units that overall I think are worth picking up. So I think Cell Max, I think Jiren. Jiren's probably the biggest hot take here, but Cell Max and then this bottom row, with the exception of maybe Goku, but he's also really good. They're all worth picking up, aside from the 10th anniversary characters. So like I said, this is just a compilation of dates based on the years past. Dokkan has proven time and time again they can change things up. These may not be accurate. They are subject to change. But I wanted to talk about why I came to this conclusion with this graphic. I think that these characters, having released as recently as they did, give them the longest window to be relevant in terms of picking up and not feeling like you wasted your pick. UI Goku is one of the best units in this collection, but he's coming out next month, which is why I just don't think you should be spending this once in a lifetime opportunity to pick him up. But that's just me. If you disagree, that's totally fine. And once again, I will do another video when we actually have the stone in front of us, or when we have the wish available to do, and we will discuss more then. But until then, hopefully you guys are able to have some sort of conversation with oh, I just realized some of the dates are cut off. Whatever, who cares? You get the idea. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on my choices here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts on the various dates? When do you foresee some of these characters potentially coming back? Could they be even sooner? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this free copy of a 10th anniversary unit deal? What do you think it's going to look like? Is it going to be 3 memorial stones or something like that? Feel free to share in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned, and I was VEGITO Dokkan responsibly.